Hurricane Beryl has made landfall in Jamaica and is expected to bring life-threatening winds, heavy rainfall, and dangerous storm surges. Peaking at 270 kilometers per hour on Monday, Beryl left 3 people dead in Grenada and another in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 2 other deaths were reported in Northern Venezuela, where 5 people are missing. A hurricane warning has been in effect for Jamaica, Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, and Cayman Brac. According to the National Hurricane Center, even though Beryl has been losing intensity, it is still forecast to be near major hurricane strength as it affects Jamaica today, passes near the Cayman Islands on Thursday, and into Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula on Friday. Beryl jumped from a Category 1 to a Category 4 storm in under 10 hours, according to Andra Garner, a Rowan University Meteorologist. This marks the fastest intensification ever recorded before September, the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season. Despite a facility to allow persons to leave hurricane-ravaged St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, Sadma, believes it may not be taken up by many. Sunalala reports.
For Union Island, the Honorable Prime Minister had indicated that facility was being made to allow persons to leave that island should they desire to do so.
Executive Director of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, Sadma, Elizabeth Riley, says while support is being given to allow citizens in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to take up shelter in other countries, there may be a reluctance to do so. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, along with Grenada, were battered by Hurricane Beryl on Monday, leaving some of the neighboring islands devastated. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley indicated that TNT offered to allow school-aged children from the devastated zones into this country if they have family here and who may wish to house them during the school holiday period. Education Minister Dr. Nian Gatsby-Dolly welcomed the move and said the Education Ministry would be ready to assist, even with the possibility of the children attending school in the new school term. Speaking during a Sadma media conference on Wednesday, Ms. Riley was not asked about the offer from Trinidad and Tobago, but noted that she had been informed about an offer to citizens from St. Vincent Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. However, she does not believe people would leave their hurricane-battered islands.
I think we also recognize that in many instances, there are persons who may not desire to leave the space that they're connected to. So I think these are really difficult questions that the governments are now grappling with. We are having discussions around the provision of temporary shelter, but of course it is of a major concern that we've had such catastrophic destruction to buildings, housing, and general shelter.
And while there's been death toll figures reported in the international media, Ms. Riley said Sadma has not yet received any official correspondence from the islands.
We have received, for example, initial situation reports from Grenada. They've submitted information to us. We know that they're in the process of preparing another situation report. But please also be mindful that in many of these islands, access is only by boat. And we would appreciate that the seas have been very rough. So the officials in the islands have had to wait for the seas to calm.
She indicated, though, that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has made a request for cash donations, but will accept relief items that are currently being dispatched to the island.
You will appreciate that commerce is still operational in mainland St. Vincent and on Grenada. St. George's, Kingstown, things are operating, stores are open, you're able to purchase items. So one of the important considerations in any emergency is how do we ensure that we keep the economy of that country going in notwithstanding the situation.
Ms. Riley said Grenada has stated that it will also accept relief items, but only from a needs list that was prepared on Wednesday morning, and has also indicated that cash contributions are welcomed. Sonolala, TTT News.
The Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, Sadma, said it is on standby to support Jamaica as Hurricane Beryl continues to race across the island. Executive Director Elizabeth Riley says Sadma has been on alert since the development of the system, and while it was moving across the Caribbean Sea, devastating islands associated with St. Vincent and Grenada in particular. And as the Category 4 hurricane heads to Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, Ms. Riley said the agency is prepared.
So we have activated our regional response mechanism, and it is on standby to support Jamaica. We were in discussions with Jamaica on the operational scenario that they were anticipating, including looking at matters of potential population to be affected, etc. So the arrangements are on standby, including the CARICOM Disaster Relief Unit that's there. We are also looking at having appropriate surge support available for them as well.
Questioned about all communication systems going down on islands such as Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the aftermath of the hurricane, she said it's not unusual, but there was a safety net.
And remember that when Beryl passed through, it was a major Category 4 system when it passed through the Grenadine Islands. So catastrophic destruction is associated with hurricanes of that particular strength. And so it's not unusual to see the normal communications going down, and usually we're able to use the satellite phones afterwards once we have some clearance with respect to the cloud cover, and that did take place.